Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for the kind introduction. And first, let me start by expressing my gratitude for the organizers of this conference for inviting me to present the project Screen for Care on behalf of the Screen for Care consortium. Can you see my slides? Okay, perfect. So, I'm very pleased and proud to present to the attendees of the conference the project Screen for Care. Screen for Care is a private public consortium between IMI, Innovative Medicines Initiative, which is supported by the EU Commission, and EFPIA, the European Federation of Pharmaceutical Industries and Association. And the main goal of Screen for Care is to shorten the path to rare disease diagnosis by using, on the one hand side, a newborn genetic screening, which I'll explain more in a minute, as well as digital technologies. I'm very happy and proud to be the project lead of Screen for Care on behalf of EFPIA and on behalf of Pfizer, but also happy to be co-leading this project with my partner Alessandra Ferlini, coordinator of the project, associate professor in medical genetics at the University of Ferrara in Italy. So I won't spend too much time on this because I think that everybody on the line is very familiar with the obstacles that are faced by the rare disease communities, which is obviously very vast. And if we want to summarize the obstacles in front of the rare disease communities, they can be summarized as, diagnosis or lack thereof, lack of R&D for new therapies, and lack of access. And at Screen for Care, we decided to focus on the first uh, issue, which is newborn screening and diagnosis. So our vision is to improve rare disease diagnosis by focusing on three aspects. On the one hand side, try to federate the complex rare disease diagnosis and newborn screening ecosystem in EU. I will say a few more words about that in a second. As I said, design and pilot a sustainable genetic newborn screening framework for rare disease, and then leverage artificial intelligence to improve the speed and the accuracy of patient diagnosis, and really empower patients, caregivers, families, but also doctors to be more informed in trying to improve the diagnosis. So in order to do all of that, because it's a lot of work, you will hear me talk about work packages. So we have divided that work into sub projects, if you will. And really, one of the leading principles of Screen for Care is collaboration and and discussion. And we really make sure that we discuss and we think collectively with all the stakeholders across healthcare, from researchers, clinicians, patients. Obviously, I will get back to that in a minute. Data science experts, many pharmaceutical companies are involved, and patient organizations, and everybody who has both the expertise, the knowledge to share with Screen for Care. So, as I said, the first really foundational work that is happening right now as we speak in Screen for Care is a strategic landscape analysis of converging initiatives and data sources. And what we mean by that is that we want to make sure that the resources that we have at Screen for Care are used efficiently. We don't want duplication of effort. We don't want to reinvent the wheel or redo things that have already been done. And at the same time, we don't want Screen for Care to be competing with any other initiative, right? We're really looking for collaboration, synergies, and partnerships so that we can go as far as possible in the most efficient manner. As I said, one of the first strategic pillars of Screen for Care will be to put together a newborn genetic screening strategy. The second tier will be to develop artificial intelligence algorithms that can go and flag patients in electronic health records. And for that, we need rare disease data sources that are already out there available and that we will be looking for collaboration so that then we can train artificial intelligence algorithms on those pre-existing rare disease data sources so that then those algorithms can be released in electronic health records and raise the alarm, if you want, on some patients that in looking at their electronic health records, their symptoms, their doctor consultations may indicate that they might have a rare disease. Obviously, in order to achieve that, it means that we need rare disease data to exist, which means that probably this approach will focus on rare diseases that are better known, that are better studied, and more often than not, for which there's already treatments available. And then the last pillar, as I said, is to again leverage artificial intelligence to either design or repurpose digital clinical symptom checkers. So now let me just spend a few minutes on the newborn screening approach within the project Screen for Care. Again, we want to have a tiered approach. The first tier is what we call the treat panel. We're putting together a panel for the purpose of genetic newborn screening that will look at diseases that we call treatable. So that we're still refining some of the criteria, but basically diseases that have a treatment available. Obviously, mutations that have a high significance, so a high penetrance, because we want to reach almost certainty in this panel, and obviously mutations that are amenable to next generation sequencing. We plan to conduct this newborn screening pilot in 3 countries: Germany, Italy, and Czech Republic. And in total, we will probably have somewhere between 5 to 6 sites. And right now, we're planning to screen around 20,000 newborn screening. I think for a pilot aimed to demonstrate feasibility, acceptability, understand cost and effectiveness of the approach, we're confident that this will be able to generate very useful data. The second tier of the Screen for Care newborn screening approach revolves around the concept of actionability, and my the previous speaker colleague was talking about screening for disease even if there's no treatment. Well, this maybe sits somewhere in the middle of that. As you know, the concept of actionability is something put forth by Eurodis, and that the rare disease community continues to refine and define. And here, for the purpose of Screen for Care, we're thinking of rare diseases, obviously, that are amenable to genetic screening, but that may allow family for better planning, family planning, as it was mentioned before, but also sometimes a lifestyle intervention, uh, um, clinical intervention that's maybe not a treatment, diet change, lifestyle change, all of that can be very beneficial for patient and for their family, even if there's no sort of approved treatment. And the other concept is, of course, if there's active clinical research, I believe that this can be also a very good option for someone with a rare disease if there are clinical trials available. So this is something where there will be, a lot of discussion, obviously, a public consultation to understand how we can really refine and define the concept of actionability in the context of Screen for Care. And then the last year is for those babies who will not screen positive for any of the first two tiers, but if they were nevertheless to show unexplainable symptoms early in life, we would then offer whole genome sequencing to try and help them understand what's going on. Now, the second sort of approach, different from genetic newborn screening, as I mentioned, is using digital tools. And so, as we said, developing algorithms that can go in electronic health records as well as meta symptom checkers, and all of that will be recapitulated in what we call the Screen for Care virtual platform or virtual clinic, where people within the rare disease community will find a lot of useful resources, a possibility to connect with rare disease experts and the community, so that the diagnosis is not just some piece of information, but that it can actually be actionable. And all of that together, we hope, will shorten the diagnosis journey for people living with rare disease. As I said, collaboration is very important for Screen for Care. So we have a very robust governing structure that has a lot of room for discussing with everybody across the rare disease community. We have a scientific advisory board. We have a multi-stakeholder engagement board. And as you can imagine, also I'll say a few words about it in a second, we have a patient advisory board. And all of these put together help us understand how we can best continue to conduct Screen for Care towards success. As I said, the voice of the patient is crucial, because this is a project that is meant to help patients and their families. And with the partnership of Eurotis and all of our partners, we're making sure that throughout all of the different aspects of the project, that the voice of the patient is embedded at the heart across all the work packages. So yes, we have the patient advisory board, but the feedback of the patient is not just within the patient advisory board, but really through all of the different aspects of Screen for Care. We hope that improving the diagnosis for rare disease patients will have impacts at multiple levels. Obviously, for patients and families, decreased time to diagnosis, better healthcare, better outcome, and as was said before, more empowerment. But also for research, because we believe that with better diagnosis, there will be a better understanding of the rare disease and better epidemiology data, and then better natural history projects will be able to start, and all of that together can enable research and development in R&D. And as you remember at the beginning, I was showing the vicious circle where it starts with no diagnosis, and we believe that if we unlock that diagnosis, then we can lead to better and more robust R&D. Obviously, for healthcare, better and improved value-based healthcare, which means a better use of the resources in the healthcare and better care delivery. So we'll really hope, and we're convinced, that Screen for Care will have impact at multiple levels. Again, I want to thank all of the partners. There are 35 partners within the context of Screen for Care, many pharmaceutical companies, as well as academic centers, academic hospitals, research institutes, and small and medium enterprises and biotech. And all of us together will fully integrated towards delivering the goals of Screen for Care. I will finish by thanking everybody and encouraging everybody to come and visit our new website, screenforcare.eu. We actually have a brand new website since yesterday that we've launched to celebrate Rare Disease Day. So I invite everybody to go and visit our website, as well as follow us on social media for ongoing updates and soon, hopefully, publications. And you can see the emails at the bottom if anybody has a question or wants to collaborate with Screen for Care. And with that, back to you, Elizabeth. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Can you do your thumbs up if you can hear me well now, or?
Yes.
Okay, that's good because before there was apparently an issue. So thank you so much. This program is really fantastic, and also that's such a wide group who's involved in this, and also in what you said again. There were a lot of points to connect to later in the discussion. Also about to collect data from young children with certain diseases only in retrospective, how to see how weak they were already when they were young, but we can speak about all that later. But thank you so much also for all your work in this program. I know these kind of programs take a lot of time and effort, so thank you so much again.